Well, great. Good evening, guys. In this video, we are going to see what is non-static variable and how do we use non-static variable in Java. See, not we in our previous video we have discussed what is static variable. In this video, we are going to see what is non-static variable. See, non-static variable and static variable both are the types of global variables. Okay, so global variable is declared directly inside the class. Okay, and this we need not to initialize these global variables. We can use these global variables without initialization also, and we can use global variables throughout the class. These are the common features of static variable or non-static variable, since they are the types of global variables. Okay, static variable can be used without throughout the class, and non-static variable can also be used throughout the class. Okay, static variable can be used without initialization, non-static variable can also be used without initialization. Okay, and both are declared directly inside the class. These are the common points that we can discuss. Okay, that we can have common points like this. Okay, so coming to fifth point here. Okay, so the non-static variable of the class will be stored inside the object of the class, and object will be created in heap area. See, if you can remember, okay, static variable will be stored in class static area. Okay, interview question, okay, multiple choice question. Okay, so where does static variable get stored? Okay, static variable is stored in class static area. Where does non-static variable get stored? Okay, non-static variable gets stored inside the object, and object will be created in the heap area. So non-static variable can be stored in heap area. Okay, and you cannot access non-static variables without object creation is mandatory if you want to access non-static variables. Okay, so let me see up to this, let me see it very practically. Okay, so I'm going to take some non-static variables. Int a is equal to 29. Okay, so into b is equal to 30. Okay, 35. Okay, see, I have taken some non-static variables. Okay, so how do you differentiate static variables or non-static variables? Okay, static variables are prefixed with static keyword. Okay, if I prefix static here, it will be static variable. If I don't prefix static here, it will be non-static variable. Okay, so that is the minute difference that you can remember. Okay, and see, static variable can be used directly or with the help of class name. Okay, but if you want to use this non-static variable, object creation is mandatory. What is mandatory? Object creation is mandatory. You have to create object if you want to use, if you want to use non-static variables. Okay, hope you are know about what is how to create object. Okay, we have to take help of class name. Okay, so obj1 is equal to new class name constructor. Okay, this is how we create the object of this class. Okay, using the object reference variable, we can access non-static variables. We can change non-static variables. Okay, we can modify them. Okay, so we can reinitialize them. That is what. Okay, so we can do all the operation using this object reference variable. Okay, so let me print it. Okay, system dot out dot, okay, println. Okay, so I'm going to, if I try to print the value of a directly a, I will get compile time error because there is no variable. Okay, I'm going to get compile time error because you cannot access this non-static variable directly. You have to use object reference variable. Okay, so without object, without creating object, you cannot access them. So I have to make use of object reference obj dot a. If I try to print this, okay, 29 will be printed. Okay, same case with the b also. Okay, let me show it also. Okay, so if I try to print b, okay, so 35 will be printed. Okay, so 29, 35. Okay, so if you want to make use of this non-static variables, you have to create object. Okay, let's see other points here. Okay, see, wait a minute. Yeah, see, what is the point? We can have multiple non-static variables in a class. Okay, so we can create any number of non-static variables. Okay, so another point is that when we create multiple, okay, see, point is that, okay, I have written wrong there, sorry. See, so point is that okay, we can create any number of objects in a class A, but thing is that object reference must be different. Obj2 is equal to okay, obj2 is equal to new a constructor. Okay, so another object is created. Like this, we can create any number of objects. Okay, but object reference must be different. New okay a constructor. Okay, object constructor. Okay, see, I have created three objects for this class. Like this, I can create any number of objects in a class. Okay, any number of objects in a class. That is what, okay, we can create multiple objects in a class. Okay, and they have written wrong. We can create multiple objects in a class. Multiple objects in a class. We can create multiple objects for a class. When we create multiple objects for a class, all the non-static variables gets loaded inside each and every inside each and every object. See, I have created obj1. Okay, I have created a object here. Again, I have created object here. Again, I have created object 3 here. Okay, so I have created three objects. Okay, so if I try to print the value of a by using obj1, 29 will be printed. It means, okay, there are two non-static variables. This will be stored in obj1, I mean this variable, and they are stored in this variable, and they are stored in this variable. Okay, they will be gets loaded in each and every object. Okay, that is the point. Okay, see, these non-static variables will be loaded inside each and every object. Okay, so for the the value of a and b in this obj1 is 29 and 25, but for the obj2, I can modify the value of a. Okay, for example, obj a is equal to 29 was there, right? I will increase it to 37. Okay, I will increase it to 37. If I try to print obj2 value, okay, so I will get output as 37. Okay, I got 37. Even though if I try to print the value of obj1 dot a, 29 will be there. 29 will be there. 20, we will get 29 as output. Okay, 29 as output. You need to remember one point here. Okay, so these non-static variables loaded in this object, and this non-static variable loaded in this object, and this non-static variables loaded in this object. Okay, so the values of, I can modify the values of non-static variable in each and every object. I can have the values of non-static variables differently in each and every object. Okay, for each and every object, I can have different values of non-static variables. Okay, so this is the point. Okay, so non-static variables will be loaded each and inside each and every object created for the class, and we can assign different values for non-static variables in different objects. Okay, for one object. Okay, so for one object the value of a is 29, but in another object the value of a is 37. Like that, I can initialize, I can modify the value of non-static variables inside each and every object. Okay, so this is the point. So we can use non-static variables of one class in another class by creating object of the class in another class. This is the most important point. Okay, this is very very most important point. Yeah, it is recording. Okay, see, one point you need to remember is, I think it's recording. Yeah, let me finish this point. Okay, so for example, there are some non-static variables here. So by creating the object of this class, I'm able to use this. But if I want to use these non-static variables in another class, if I want to use these non-static variables in another class, you have to make use of object. Okay, so you have to create the object of a class here. Obj4 is equal to new, okay, a constructor. Okay, so you have to create the object of a class here, and you have to access them. Okay, if you try to access them directly, okay, you will get compile time error. So never try to see, look here. Okay, it's already showing compile time error. Okay, obj1 is a object of a class, and that is created in a class. I cannot try to use that object reference here. Okay, you cannot use the object reference of one class in another class. Okay, so I have to make it as obj4 obj4 is created in this class, its instance is present in b class. Okay, if I try to print here, the value of a is 29, 29 will be printed. Okay, I can modify its way, I can modify a value here also. Obj dot a is equal to, for example, let me make it as 78. If I try to print, okay, 78 will be printed. Okay, hope all the points are clear. Okay, let me explain it to it very clearly. Okay, so non-static variables are global variables declared directly inside the class. Non-static variable is not prefixed with a static keyword. Okay, they are not prefixed with static keyword. If you see a variable without prefixed with static keyword, and that is declared directly inside the class, we can say that it is non-static variable. Okay, and object creation is mandatory if you want to use these non-static variables. Okay, so we can have multiple objects in a class, and we can create, I mean, all the non-static variables of that class will be stored in each and every object, and we can assign different values for these non-static variables inside each and every object. Okay, so if you want to make use of non-static variables of one class in another class, you have to create object of that class in that another class. Okay, so yeah, hope it is very clear. Okay, thank you for watching this. Okay, I have a practice of it.